The Civil Rights Act of 1866 was vetoed by Andrew Johnson, but Congress overruled him and passed the act on April 9, 1866. The act allowed all people that were born in the U.S. to be known as citizens. It didn't matter what race, color, or previous condition. As citizens, they had basic rights like owning property, making and enforcing contracts, and being able to sue or be sued. The main cause of the Civil Rights Act of 1866 was the Black Codes. The Black Codes were laws designed to replace the social controls of slavery.
I can dance and play the part if that's what you ask.
Abolitionists were happy that slaves were free. People that were against slavery didn't agree with the decision and tried to find flaws within the act. African Americans were glad to have more rights and thought they were on the way to a better life.
I can do it.
Blacks had more rights than before, and now could be educated, get married, get jobs instead of working for someone, and they could lead their own life. This act also caused the creation of the 14th Amendment. It was to protect the rights of recently freed slaves.
Words in my head, knives in my heart.
Why did you choose your government action?
I chose the Civil Rights Act of 1866 because I thought it was an important event that helped African Americans because it allowed them to be considered equal to everyone else.
What were your feelings about the government citizen action, and what were your feelings about what was going on at this time?
I think that the government shouldn't have been treating the African Americans poorly in the first place, but the outcome of their actions was huge.
Take a walk in someone else's shoes.
If I was an African American at the time, I'd be proud of myself and others for making our lives better.
Affect your views on racial equality.
I never realized how poorly African Americans were being treated, and now I know that everyone is treated equal.
African Americans refused to ride the buses from December 5th, 1955 to December 20th, 1956 because the seats were segregated. Whites would be able to take a black person's seat if there were none available. Blacks got tired of this and started a boycott not to ride the buses until they got their freedom. The boycott got very violent at some times, and it lasted 381 days. Browder v. Gale stated that bus segregation is unconstitutional. The boycotters agreed that the boycott was over now that they could ride the bus with equal rights. This fostered racial equality. The boycott started because of bus segregation. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man and she was arrested. The black community came together after her arrest and started a boycott. The boycott began the day of Parks' court hearing.
Can take so much.
During the boycott, the KKK bombed Martin Luther King Jr. and E.D. Nixon's houses. The black community surrounded the houses and were trying to fight the whites. King settled them down and told them not to start violence.
Why did you choose the government action?
I chose this citizen action because I thought this represented the civil rights era the best. In my opinion, I thought that it impacted the blacks' freedom the most. If they hadn't done this, then they wouldn't have gotten their freedom on the buses. That freedom led to get many more freedoms.
What were your feelings about the citizen action?
I thought that this citizen action really impacted the future. I think that it was good that they were fighting for their freedom in a non-violent way.
Go walk in someone else's shoes.
If I was an African American at this time, I'd be very happy. I would finally be treated like a real person on the bus, not having to go around the bus just to get on. I'd feel proud of myself that I stood up to the whites and showed them that I was just as good as them.
Did this project affect your views on racial equality?
This project affected my views on racial equality because I learned that blacks and whites are equal and one is not greater than the other. Today, I think that they are both treated equally because they both have the same rights and freedoms.
President Obama made a speech giving immigrants that are undocumented in the States the opportunity to stay here legally for a period of time and give them time to get proper documentation. This will also give them the time to get jobs that will benefit the U.S.
The worst part is there's no one else.
Immigrants come to the United States to work and make more money for their families. But some immigrants who are here illegally are stuck in jails rather than doing something that can help the United States. The people that came here to work are not able to help or make money to support themselves or their families. Crowds weren't giving President Obama the opportunity to explain his actions and were accusing him of wrong as he was trying to make things better. After he explained, they calmed down and approved. President Obama's speech has given immigrants hope for the future of their children and for themselves. They are no longer afraid of living here in the U.S.
Why did you choose your government action?
I chose President Obama's immigration speech because it was the most recent and important event that affects a huge number of our population.
What were your feelings about the government action and your feelings about what was going on at the time?
I approve of the actions that the government is taking to control immigration. I think that it is right to allow hard workers and families to remain here and earn their keep. This action makes me feel proud of living in a better world and the choices that are being made.
Take a walk in someone else's shoes.
If I were an illegal immigrant living in America, I would be extremely grateful for President Obama's decisions, and it would give me hope for a better future. This act has given lots of people the opportunity to make a better life for them and their families.
How did this project affect your views of racial equality?
This project has helped show me how much our country is trying to build a better community than we had in the past. Looking at the past, having an African-American president would be laughable, and now it is celebrated. This project shows how people are becoming more welcoming and accepting to people of different races.
Have changes in racial equality occurred?
Yes, because nowadays we have an African American president. Also, you don't see public segregation. Everyone has equal rights no matter what skin color or religious beliefs. Have the changes helped hinder or foster racial equality?
The changes have fostered racial equality because the government has made laws to make racial equality become a reality. Can true equality and acceptance be achieved? Why or why not?
No, because everyone has their own opinion about people. We don't think that everyone is going to agree with each other.
What further steps need to be achieved?
We should limit the amount you judge each other by being more accepting.